Every artist's worst nightmare. They stopped selling my favorite watercolor paper. So today I'm trying out Opus Finest watercolor paper. It's their artist quality store brand paper. And it says that it's 100% cotton and probably being made in the same paper mills that all of the Legion papers are made in, honestly. That's just a guess. Right off the bat, the surface texture isn't that visually interesting. It's a cold press, and one thing I didn't really like about it is I couldn't easily tell which side was the correct side. And I think a lot of cotton watercolor papers don't have a correct side, but some papers do, so I get burned on that a lot. So I'd prefer to know. And the only thing that I care about, a nice even wash, and whether or not it can layer nicely without making mud. If it can take dark colors and keep them without turning pale and making me reinforce the color over and over again. And I'm going to be comparing this to the two papers that I have been using lately, which is the Bao-Hong Artist Quality, and I think I have some Arches Rough. Opus Finest watercolor paper is currently about like half the price per square inch than the Bao-Hong was when I last bought it, which might not be accurate anymore, but that's just to say that it does cost less. I don't know if it's my imagination, but it almost looks like the Opus Finest, the texture on the surface flattens out and then it leaves this unusual granulation that the other ones don't have. I don't really like how the ridges kind of disappear when I'm painting on them, but the granulation effect in place of that is kind of interesting and I'm not really mad about it. But I can't tell if that's really happening or if that's just my imagination. My take on this paper was fine. I think there is more lifting on this paper than the other two, which is a plus or minus depending. Like it could be a plus for people who make mistakes. It could be a minus for retaining color, give or take. It layers really nicely. I'm completely happy with that. It takes the dark colors and keeps them. There was actually only one reason why I decided to try this paper. They didn't have the paper packs of Bao-Hong that I fell in love with. I tried it out there. I really, really liked it. It just feels really warm and crunchy and like nostalgic. It might just be because I'm on a freaking rebound here. I'm really not that happy with the texture of the Opus Finest. I think that's so far like the only detail about this paper that makes it seem less exciting than the other ones is just it doesn't feel as luxurious or but that's okay. It's completely functional. I will definitely use this. But the only reason why I decided to try it is because it came in packs of 10 and it's sized 15 inch by 22 inch sheets. And 22 by 15 is a really convenient size and shape. I've gotten really used to that. Because I can either cut it down into two 11 by 14 pieces, because I work in standard sizes, or I could do one 11 by 14 piece and a couple of 8 by 10s and then some 5 by 7s. Like it breaks down so conveniently into multiple sizes that I might need, but I only have to stock one pack of paper. It's kind of awesome. Otherwise, like I really would have wanted to try some kind of Fabriano or maybe the new Stonehenge stuff. Like I would have gotten something a little bit more luxurious. I already know that I like the Arches paper. I totally would have bought that. The only problem is that none of the other brands in packs, the bigger sizes, were all 10 by 14, which is a really weird size. Like I don't know if I'm just out of the loop. Have we moved on from 11 by 14? Like are all frames now 10 by 14? Because I'm not about custom framing. Maybe that's just me being a noob or something, but I tend to ship in different places in North America, so I like to keep it like flat, light, unframed, no glass. So I like to keep it standard sizes so that you can just get a pre-built frame for it. So when I saw that all of the paper packs are 10 by 14, I'm just like, well, either they're taking an inch from us as like a shrinkflation thing, or they're trying to force us to do custom framing, or it's a European size that's standard. I don't know. That's the only reason why I decided to try the store brand. I definitely don't enjoy it as much as my top two, but It is functional, it's absorbent. If anyone else has tried this, I really want to know if it's just my imagination or not, that the texture goes away. Instead of little convex hills in the surface, it looks more concave, like little dips where the paint kind of gathers in, and I think that's what's causing like the weird little granulation effect. It absorbs the water and then flattens out. Like, I don't really know what's going on there. I know that some people would prefer to use hot press paper so that you could draw really fine lines and details. So it might be kind of interesting for anyone who wants to retain those fine details but still have like a cold press experience. And I was trying it out on these little miniature paintings. I recently did a bunch of little mini paintings for a show that had like hundreds of tiny paintings, and people show up, and an hour into the reception they go up for sale, and I ended up selling 4 of my tiny little paintings. The curator made a nice speech about how the show is going to evolve over time as artists bring in replacement pieces, and I didn't have any prepared, so I decided that I was going to, at the very last minute, kind of put a couple together. And I didn't have any panels left, so I had to like build wood panels from scratch, and this is what I glued on the front of it. But yeah, this is part of like the little cat travel series for my apparently year of cats that I did. This one represents the Royal Tyrrell Museum that we visited in July. And he's like on a little dinosaur with the flowers and leaves coming out of it. But yeah, as far as the paper goes, I think that this worked really well. But yeah, if you live in the Lower Mainland or if you order stuff online, I'd say this is a pretty good budget alternative for like the fancy artist quality papers. It just doesn't have that same quite luxurious feel in the surface, the texture. Just doesn't. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have tried this and what you think about it, and I'll see you in the next one.